According to some analytics, Apple Pay usage grew 50% last year. So that may be another source of some really big numbers.
Not everybody can afford an iPhone, but everybody uses money. So if you can basically find a way to get access to every time someone buys a bagel, you're setting yourself for a very happy future.
But to put it in perspective, if you take all the retailers in aggregate, Apple Pay transactions are less than 1% of total transactions.
I say that's just a big opportunity for growth. A lot of
that's true,
because there's so few people that are using their phone as a percentage.
Yeah.
And even I find that even when I go to Starbucks or Whole Foods, a lot of times I'm using cards. The big problem I have with Apple Pay is that I accidentally charge the wrong card. Like it's just too easy. Like it's because I have a lot of different cards I'm charging for different things. And so I kind of decided that I have to do it only for when I'm doing business or only, and make that one the primary. And I think that difficulty. And then also when retailers are then asking you for your signature or asking for a PIN, you're kind of like, really?
Yeah.
Like that's which
I thought I didn't have to do that.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But you do.
If you argue, I've been told if you argue with them a little bit, it actually
I am not going to argue with some poor clerk at Whole Foods.
After they've made your coffee and put the lid on it, not before.
Yeah, exactly.
Really. Apple says 35.
I put some extra froth in this one for you, sir.
Apple says 35% of U.S. retailers have Apple Pay. So it isn't. There is. Yeah. So there's two ways to look at it. Oh, only 35 cents, or a lot of growth potential.
The other thing is
4 million locations. Everybody
is using Tap to Pay. Or I'm sorry, the biblical version of everybody, meaning that ordinary people are using it.
I don't see a lot of people doing that. Do you?
Well, because not a lot of people have one of these.
But I do see people. I mean, I still see cards. I mean, chips are finally happening. I see a lot of people kind of.
If you guys have seen this or not, though, but I mean, like the first few times I was using Tap to Pay, especially with my watch, I get these freaked out expressions. Whoa, wow, how did that?
Not anymore. Yeah.
And now a couple times I've done it. Now the person has like sort of lifted up their own wrist and go, ha, I have it too.
We all do that. Yeah. Okay, one of us. What do you think the top retailers are in the U.S. for Apple Pay? Whole Foods got to be one, right?
I would
even bigger than Whole Foods.
The Apple Store.
No, Duane Reade is number one.
Wow. Ooh, that's right.
1.8%.
I'm here. I can actually, and you're in a big screen. I can actually cheat when you ask these questions.
Oh, stop looking. I'll make it big for you, Andy.
I'm loving this.
I know. I'm totally spoiled. Look at this too. I could do this. 1.8 and 1.7% with
the quarterback's got to go right to the left, and then the running back's got to go through the middle.
Yeah, I do. I feel like an NFL analyst. Although interesting, most mobile apps and websites actually have higher usage. Hotel Tonight, 3.4%, followed by Caviar, Postmates, and DoorDash. Those are all food delivery.
I do realize
it makes sense with food delivery, I guess.
It is the one thing that I've thought about getting the new, Mac for, is specifically with the
love the Touch ID.
The Touch ID because when you start using Apple Pay, you really realize how insecure your card is, and you kind of just want, I really just like to. I know. I really just want to use biometrics. Like I don't really want to use. I don't want to use passwords anymore. I don't want to use credit cards anymore. I just want to have it be, preferably, my face and my finger would be great.
Well, even if it's not a security thing, it really is just a convenience thing. When I was using I switched back to iPhone and the Apple Watch so I could test out the new iPhone last year. So entire summer, most of the fall, and that's the one thing I missed when I went back to Android is the ability to not even take my phone out of my pocket and just tap my watch to just make something happen. There's going to be Android Wear 2.0 is coming out next week, and either I'm perfectly happy with this watch. It's a perfectly good watch. The new watch is going to have NFC, and that's the reason why I'm going to take off this perfectly good one. But there is one thing that worries me about Touch ID on the MacBook that I really hadn't considered until recently, is just the idea that realize that if my MacBook is protected by a passcode, you cannot coerce me to give up the passcode without a court order. Whereas if I can unlock a laptop with just a fingerprint, I'm not sure that I would like to go through a border control where now there's some sort of directive that says that anybody who came in from Belgium, we're interested in terrorist activity in Belgium, make them unlock it. We want to look at their laptop.
It looks like that's starting to happen.
Yeah, and this is the sort of thing that unfortunately I'm starting to kind of worry about. Yeah. Whereas again, with the fingerprints, they can actually demand that you do that because it doesn't violate your Fifth Amendment rights, but a passcode does. So,
although there's debate on that too now, it's not that clear.
But at least I can make that argument at the border without knowing I'm going to be slammed into a wall and clapped into irons. Whereas
a lot of people are just powering down.
I wouldn't try it these days. I'll be honest with you. I don't see that. I would think it's a little risky.
I still think
I'm
one thing
people powering down at airports.
Fortunately, I'm a white guy, so I've got the best protection whatsoever against that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I still think that Apple should put somewhere in there a kill code. So when we talk about security, type this code in, and it
no
will
way they're going to do that
phone.
now. It's too provocative. At this point, I don't think so. I think that
more people would want it.
They would have to done that before January 20th.